Happy Wednesday, friends. Okay, so last week I missed because I was out of town and I was not prepared. Horrible, I know. But this week, what I wanted to share was this book that I'm reading. It's called Your New Playlist by Jon Acuff. Just bought it on Amazon. I actually heard him talking on a podcast, and I really loved some of the things that he was highlighting. And I think it would be really good for teenagers to get this book. This is actually for teenagers. There's also one for adults called Soundtracks, and it's just really good. It's a simple way to shift your mindset, which I think is huge in our culture, and desperately needed, because a lot of times our thoughts can captivate us and they're not always the best thoughts. A lot of times our thoughts lead to depressive thoughts, which then lead to worse thoughts and so forth. But one of the things I wanted to highlight is he always is talking about the playlist that we play in our head. And if you think about it, thoughts, the things that we're telling ourselves, that's our playlist. And so how to shift that playlist or change your playlist to something that is uplifting and positive and true. And the 3 questions that he says to ask yourself, and something that he's actually taught his girls that are like 17 and 19 now, and they actually helped write this book. So you get to hear it from a teenager, young adult's perspective, which is awesome. But the 3 questions that they ask is it kind? Is it helpful? Is it true? So when you're telling yourself a thought, so let's just say you tell yourself that you're not loved, which is a common thing that a lot of people walk through. Maybe you don't feel loved in your family or in your friend group, your peer group, whatever lie that Satan is trying to feed you so that you believe it. You have to sit there and say, is this thought true? No. Is it kind? No. Is it helpful? No. Therefore, it must not be true. So then you shift your mindset to, okay, so what is the truth? And then you can always go back to the Word of God, which is where truth is found. And that is where you find that God does love you, that He sent His Son for you. That is a form of His love. God is love. So you just shift your mindset from these lies that the enemy is feeding you and wants you to fall prey to with truth. And I actually did this the other day to myself. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought some negative thought. I don't even know. And so I asked myself these 3 things, and then it was gone. I was like, none of that was true. So it's not of the Lord, it's of Satan, and I'm not going to fall prey to his lies. And so I was able to shift my mindset even in that. And so it's just it's something that is super simple, but also kept me from going down the rabbit trail of all the negative thoughts that I can find in my head. And all the negative thoughts that the enemy can feed me. So I wanted to pass this along. Again, if you're a teenager, I would strongly recommend this. This is such an easy read. I could literally read it in 30 minutes if I had 30 minutes to sit and be still. And then Soundtracks for the adults. So same type of thing. But obviously the teenage version gives you a little bit more insight as far as like how teenagers think versus us old people. But anyways, wanted to share this, Your New Playlist by Jon Acuff. So good. If you have teenagers, I would strongly encourage you to get this book for them, or Audible, whatever. I'll put the link on the video so that you have the link just on Amazon or whatever. Let me know what you think if you get it and you read it, or if you recommend it to anybody. But so good, and it's actually something that I'm trying to teach my girls and my kids. I have 3 girls and a boy, but I'm trying to teach them, hey, shift your mindset. Was that true? Was that kind? Was that helpful? And so the more that they play that list in their head, hopefully the better they'll be when they're on their own during the day, to be able to combat those thoughts with truth. So anyways, I hope you have a great Wednesday, and I shall see you next week.